Caller, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Hello?
Yes, this is you. You're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Hey, this is Anoa. How are you?
Hey, you could have called. Hang on. Oh, you're on your phone. What's going on?
I'm on my phone. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all, to call in. I know everybody else been calling, but I had to get on this real quick. That boy, Bernie better not be her VP. I had to disagree with you, big brother.
Go ahead.
Because we have spent all of this time building this movement, building this way of being, this critique on democracy as it exists in America, on the Democratic Party. For him to then get in line, so to speak, I mean, in theory, you would think that maybe he'd have the opportunity to help shape. I think it's really different when you look at 2008, where you had Biden, who also ran, for president and then became the VP nominee. I think that there's such a stark difference. For us to say for so long they're not there, people try to say, oh, they're really the same, and we say, no, and this is what's wrong with her, and these are the issues, and this is what's wrong. And for Bernie to say that he has questions on issues with the way the Clinton Foundation has done their fundraising while she has been Secretary of State, yet her husband is pulling in money, yet they're negotiating donations for their foundation from dictators and arms dealers and stuff while she's Secretary of State. And we have all these actual moral and ethical issues with the way she acts. I don't know how we then get behind him as her VP. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I just can't wrap my head around it.
Here's your choices.
And I know
Here are your choices. Here are your choices. These are how your choices go. Your choices are this for Bernie Sanders. These are his choices, actually, because you as a voter, you could do whatever the heck you want to. But these are Bernie Sanders' choices. He's either going to endorse her like a quote unquote good Democrat is supposed to do, right? Which and get nothing. Right. But maybe a chairmanship on in the Senate. Right. Or not the Senate majority leader. They'll never give him that. So he can endorse her and just be a good Democrat and get some back of the room, appointment. Or he can run as an independent and just kind of buck the system and say, go to hell with all of you. Or he can demand the VP pick. The first option is completely, in my opinion, would completely undermine everything that he said because he gets nothing for it, right? He endorses and he disappears and he goes the way of the dinosaur. The second option, he's not going to do, right? Everyone's saying go run independent. It's too late, really, in a lot of ways, and he's not going to join forces with the Green Party. So that's really not. So to me, I
definitely agree.
The only real choice would be for him to make demands. And the greatest demand for him to make would be, I will be your VP and I will have my own voice and I will still be Bernie Sanders in the VP spot. I think that's the real power play here. Other than that, it's just he's going to disappear.
The only way I see that working is somehow that would lead us to morphing into, where you have a situation in other countries, how you have a prime minister and a president who come from different parties, right? So you have a government that has multiple voices, and only if we move to that type of scenario, then possibly I see that happening. But that it would have to be a very, very strong. But the way these I'm with her, yes, girl, yes, we got our female president, yes. The way these folks are acting and happening, I don't see him being able to maneuver in Washington in that way. I do think that there is definitely, he's running for re-election in his position too, as senator. I do think that regardless of what happens, whether we stay with the Dems, whether we leave, whatever people decide to do, we do need to help continue to push and change the narrative of what's going on in the way we do politics here in America and handle our elections and process, et cetera. That is absolutely clear from this election cycle. But again, I still think there's a strong difference. Like the candidates are so different. In 2016, there's an article not too long ago. I think it might have been a Sean King piece about how this is not 2008.
Right.
Barack Obama. People could fall in line behind Barack Obama because he was a better alternative to begin with.
Right.
He was the best candidate in that cycle. Hillary Clinton has the name. She has the friends. She has the connection. She's the media. She has the establishment.
Yeah, she's the queen insider.
She is an ultimate insider, and so she has everything lined up in her favor. And I think honestly, I can't, as a woman, I can't even celebrate this because it took so much dysfunction and manipulation for her to win.
But check this out. You as a voter, and I want to listen, nothing that I've said, nothing that preceded this conversation that you and I are having is anything to say that you or anyone else should support Hillary Clinton because Bernie Sanders would be the VP pick. This has nothing to do with you as an individual voter and your individual decision. I completely support everyone's individual decision to vote exactly how they see fit. What I'm saying is I think that the best concession for Bernie Sanders as a candidate, as well as the progressive movement, would be the constant reminder in their face every single day that, one, you didn't get here without us. Two, we're not going anywhere. Three, that is a constant rallying point. That it would not require. I like what you said about the parliamentary system and the president versus the prime minister. It wouldn't require any adaptation of that system per se, but it would take us back to a time when you had a president and a vice president who had fundamentally different views on things. And I think that is an even more healthy presidency than or executive branch than just a yes man in the vice president spot. I mean, let's be real. It would be hard. It would be hardest for Bernie Sanders, right? It would be extremely hard for him because every day he would have to ask himself, am I going to speak out about this or am I going to be quiet about this? And I actually have enough belief that Bernie Sanders has nothing to lose, that he would constantly be speaking out for progressive values every single day in the office of the vice presidency. And that would constantly be a rallying cry for progressives. I think that's my reasoning behind it. You guys who wouldn't be on board with that, obviously do whatever's best for you. But I just see
someone in the chat room said this is actually a good idea. If Clinton gets indicted and Bernie is VP, so does Bernie anyway. But I just want to call in because I really want to talk to you because we miss you. And just throw in my little 2 cents. But I'm watching and I'm loving the show. Glad to have you back from vacay.
Glad to be back. Thanks for holding it down while I was gone, Anoa.
Awesome. Well, we're all in it together. All right, I'm going.
All right.
Someone else call in and talk to Ben. All right, bye.
857-600-0518. Anoa had a great write-up in the New York Times today. You guys go check my timeline and her timeline for the link. Make sure you go read it and retweet it. She was speaking about what's next. So, in my opinion, I just think that's... Okay, and I'm petty. I want every person who has said something negative about the most progressive candidate that we've had in a long time, I want them to eat. I want them to burn up on the inside every single motherfucking day when they see Bernie Sanders in the VP spot. I'm petty. But it also has some practical ramifications, right? It's very practical because it would be a great rallying point and a constant reminder to this Democratic Party that they can't do anything without progressives. The last thing that I want to see happen is for Bernie Sanders to go the way of the dinosaurs, to disappear into a quietness and the abyss of nothingness, and they appoint some Manchurian blank suit candidate, neoliberal like Cory Booker to be the VP, and all we have are damn identity politics for the next 4 years. That's it. I honestly, sorry, Cory, I get nauseous when I think about you. I'm sorry. I do. Because, what you and other candidates really kind of stand for today isn't what we need. It's not. And it's like, what is it? It's like, not you particularly, Cory. Don't take this personally. But this style of candidate today, it's like chocolate covered shit. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's chocolate covered shit because it looks good on the outside. You have the appearance of everything that America needs for progress. But as soon as you get past the chocolate, you see all the bullshit on the inside, all the crap of trickle down economics light, the same type of foreign policies that got us into the mess that we're in the first place, the same type of economic policies that gut and eviscerate the middle class and the working class. All of that wrapped in identity politics, all of that wrapped behind people who look good in a suit. Chocolate covered shit. And I just kind of get nauseous when I think about that.